Foundation Camp 2018. Learn more right after this.
Your life is filled with opportunities to show the world you can take charge. It's waking up each day with a mission. It's working each day toward a goal. It's choosing to rise. It's charging forward with a purpose. It's changing the course of your life and taking charge of your future. If you're ready to be a Take Charger, enroll at Georgia Highlands College today.
Welcome to Community Watch. Greg,
Doug,
how are you?
I'm great, but this time of the year, you have to get prepared.
So this is one of those topics that you know a lot about, and I'll just have to follow along.
Sure. Sure. One of our favorite topics, actually, Foundation Camp, and I can't believe it's been 13 years. Just be the 13th year. It's a long time.
A big chunk of our lives.
Yeah. And when you start thinking about the young men we've met over those years and just, they've grown. I mean, literally grown.
Mm-hmm.
So, yeah, it's interesting.
So, Foundation Camp coming around again. So, we're going to be talking about this year's camp and what it is, if there's anybody left out there that doesn't know, and the dates and time. So a lot of good information, but we're also going to have some guests that have been instrumental on multiple levels with the success of the camp.
Yeah.
Who maybe know more about it than anyone.
Well, a different perspective.
Different perspective. Should be a fascinating show in a lot of ways, and you'll learn a lot about Foundation Camp, which you need to know about. So don't go away. We'll be back with our guests right after this.
Open road, here comes the Heffley family.
Whether it's a short trip or a long haul,
estimated time 47 hours.
they will beg.
You're hungry? I'm happy to provide.
They will plead.
Deep fried butter on a stick.
But whatever you do, don't wimp out.
Now you're talking.
Make them buckle up.
He can't hurt.
Remember, safety first. Cheese curls second.
Are you orange?
Welcome back to Community Watch. We are honored to have with us today DJ Rogers and Corey Pitts. Welcome, gentlemen.
Thank you for having me.
Right, thanks for having me. Remember DJ was just a little,
yes, I know.
And in his rap song.
And so, yes. Yeah. All right. Forgive us. Both of you have worked for Foundation Camp. Both of you started as campers. So you have an experience that maybe nobody else has had. So I'm not sure where to start, except let's talk about what Foundation Camp is first, just to establish that. And that's something we all work with, so I guess any of us can answer that.
Well, go ahead and answer it. I mean, what is Foundation Camp?
Foundation Camp is a 2-week camp for boys ages 10 to 14. It is offered at Georgia Highlands College through a partnership between the college and the 100 Black Men of Northwest Georgia. It is a camp that features academic classes from Georgia Highlands professors, athletics, and a variety of what we call enrichment programs, in an attempt to give young men a positive experience on a college campus. That's one of our primary missions. It is absolutely free to the students, to the campers themselves.
To the students.
Not to us.
Not to us.
Not to us. So those are basics. What else?
Well, I think you covered it. I mean, it is really, I think, a testament to what people can do when we collaborate and work together, and we really commit to a process, because this is the 13th year. But I remember there were 25 students in just a week long in those ugly T-shirts the first year. I mean, it's grown tremendously, and to the point that sometimes this never happens to you because you're good with names and faces. But when young men walk up to me, or grown men, they say, "How you doing, Mr. Shropshire?" And I don't know their names. I can recognize the face a lot of times, but the name. But the campus really inspired and touched a lot of young men over 12 years. So I mean, it is something definitely that I'm proud to be associated with as a member of the 100. But I think it's a great opportunity, because I know some of those young men will do things, depending on their choices in life, that they may never have an opportunity ever to do again. Mm-hmm. And so I think I'm glad that we do that.
Well, 13 years we have had, except for that first year, we've had over 100 every year, haven't we?
Yeah.
So that's a lot. Now, Corey, you have been working for the camp since we started Foundation Camp. Is that not right? Have you worked every year?
I worked since day one.
How old were you, 13?
It's been a long time.
Oh, wow. I mean, it has. Now, Corey, you was a camper at NYSP, which existed before Foundation Camp, and then you came on with Foundation Camp first year as a counselor, but you was a student at Georgia Hollins, correct?
Correct.
And NYSP now was the National Youth Sports Program.
Mm-hmm. That was federally funded.
That was federally funded, and it was at the college, I don't know, I want to say
33 years, I think.
A long time.
Something like that, yeah.
And the national funds were pulled from that camp. I want to say during I want to say, is it the first Bush administration? Or
Yes. I think it was the first Bush administration.
But in any case, the fundings were pulled from that camp entirely, so it ended for that reason. And although Foundation Camp is different and has a more particular focus, I think we started it because the loss of NYSP had left kind of a void.
Do you remember that conversation?
I do. I don't think when we had the conversation we knew
what we was getting into.
No, we really didn't know that.
Y'all may not even know this. And actually, I think it would have been the second Bush administration.
Okay.
Because it's only 13 years.
Yeah.
We was coming back from, I know we was on the road back to Georgia Hollins from Cedartown. And we was talking, and you mentioned that it was going to be a vacuum with NYSP, no longer in existence. And I think you said something to say we should start our own camp. And I was like, me, 13 years ago, I'm like, sure, yeah, man, we need to start our own camp. We can do this. And if I'm correct, you said, well, let's talk to David, because David had all the experience in running the camp with NYSP, and he'd be the first person to start with. And a meeting with David, and it was like, hey, we do have a little funds left over. It could be done, and that was it. Just that simple. Mm-hmm. And the reason that's important to me, because sometimes I think we spend too much time in planning and all this other stuff, talking about things, when sometimes you just got to do it. And a lot of stuff we've learned over the years. We've gotten better at things over the years for some of the logistics and all the other things, but it was just really three men saying, look, there's a need, let's just do it. And 13 years later, we've over 1,300 students, so sometimes it's just that easy, just to say, hey, let's do it, be committed to it. And I think sometimes we just overanalyze and we just spend too much time in the planning process when sometimes it just requires some action. So yeah, I'm proud of that moment. that you said, man, let's start our own camp? Haven't forgiven you since.
Yeah. All right, Corey, you are now one of our assistant directors at the camp, along with Evan Snelling. So, tell us a little bit about your experience with the camp as an employee from 13 years ago to now. I mean, what are some of the things that you have done, and how has it helped you just working?
Well, I mean, it helps satisfy my giving back to the community. Just seeing how the kids just grow up, and I was actually one of those kids, and trying to be a good role model figure. I mean, nowadays it's hard to find a role model. I mean, we have all kids from all aspects of everywhere just coming in, and some of them just come in just loose. I mean, they don't have any guidance, and our counselors show them some form and fashion of guidance. I mean, it goes from class to class, from gentlemen's club to so much. But so far as my impact, I would have to say it's just mesmerizing, just to seeing all the kids just grow up and just, I mean, I'm lost for words.
All right, so when you started, so there are kids that you worked with 10 years ago who would be in their 20s.
Yeah.
Pretty much the one sitting next to me right now.
Right. I went from camper, to camp staff, so. Right.
That's true, though. I didn't put that together, but you're right. DJ would have been in camp.
I was. We go to the gym, and him and D-Mar be playing basketball. I was like, shit, I'm trying to be like those guys, but it's crazy, like, you see somebody, and then, like, just that little impact of seeing somebody, you want to become like them, and you see it's more to them than what you think you see in the streets. Like, so you see like these guys in college, and like I'm a student in high school. Like, hey, like they're doing great, and they're in college. Like, so this could be a possibility for me.
And it was a possibility for you.
Right.
It was an actuality for you.
Mm-hmm.
2 college graduates, we can say.
Yeah. So you graduated. Was it a year ago?
Yes, in May, the past May.
From Georgia Southern?
Yes, sir.
With a degree in?
Finance. So my BBA.
That's pretty impressive.
Especially when you think about who DJ was then. Look,
Do we really want to bring that up?
It's hard for me to forget sometimes, because he was always into something. But I think, of course, you said something very key, is that you take it for granted. We kind of take it for granted that you see these guys 13 years later, and they're grown. And it's interesting to see what they have become or what they're doing, but also the relationship they remembered. And I know I'm guilty of this sometimes, like you don't realize the impact you have sometimes. And you see these guys and hey, how you doing, coach, and this and that, and it's like, and it makes you feel good that you play some kind of part in that, man. But I think sometimes it's because in the moment of it, we're doing so much, we don't realize the impact that we have. But clearly, the impact is made, and it can change lives.
Right. And like you said too, it was funny. Like all summer, kids was coming up to me like, "What's up, Mr. Rogers?" And I couldn't even remember their names, but it was like, oh yeah, from summer camp. So I was like, oh yeah, I forgot. I was a camp counselor, and they remember me, so I know I made some form of impact.
You did. Well, I want to, and I know we've got a couple more minutes in this segment, so I want to go into some details about the camp, both from the staff side of the experience and the camper side of the experience, so we can give people an idea of some of the activities and specific things. But I do think what you've brought up, both of you, that the camp has an impact beyond your anticipation is significant. And I don't know if you have, Corey, maybe you have, because you've been at it a little longer, but I wonder if you've had the experience like we have had of with DJ, for example, seeing how well he has done and being really proud of what he's accomplished. I wonder if you've had that kind of experience yet with any of the guys you have worked with over the years.
So far as the staff, or so far as the kids growing up?
Kids growing up.
Oh yeah. I mean, working the camp 13 years, I've seen tons of kids. Like Greg said, I give everybody nicknames, so I remember the nicknames, but I can't remember the official names, because it's so many.
So many.
Yeah, it's 100 kids. You total that by 13 years. I mean, I see what y'all was saying. So, but just from the kids growing up,
and do you actually see them in the community? I mean, are they I don't guess they're you don't see them at your work necessarily, which we need to talk about also, but you just see them out in public?
Oh yeah,
and they reach out to you?
The number one meeting spot, Walmart.
Oh,
yeah, Walmart. They run up to me, hey, Coach Pitts, or Major Pitts, that's my training name, or Mr. Pitts. I mean, it's just so much. Just, I feel the love. Like I made an impact, even though I went from counselor to the basketball coach to the assistant director. I had to be mean. I had to be like aggressive. Yeah, be like Greg, like Schwab. Had to set the foot down, and they still love me. I mean, it just, I guess it just got a whole ball of emotions that these kids go through that they need in their life. So, and it's just, I'm just honored to give back to the community, to the kids, because I was one of those kids that needed some type of role model, some type of guidance. Because, I mean, without guidance and a good figure, I mean, you just strand and lead to different areas of life.
Well, we're coming up on our break, although I'm very curious about this Major Pitts thing. You'll have to explain that to me later. But please stay with us. We're going to give you some more details about Foundation Camp and also some information about how you can get your student to become a camper this year. So stay with us. We'll be right back after this.
If you're looking for a new pet that your family will cherish every day, consider adopting from a shelter. Shelters are the best places to find a new pet. That's where you'll discover healthy, loyal, and loving animals, eager to become a part of your family. A person is the best thing to happen to a shelter pet, so bring home your new buddy today. To find out more, visit theshelterpetproject.org.
Welcome back to Community Watch. We're talking with DJ Rogers and Corey Pitts about Foundation Camp, which is coming up pretty soon. Camp is May 29th, which is starts on a Tuesday. It's the day after Memorial Day holiday. The 29th through that week, that Friday of that week, and then Monday through Friday of the following week. So the very last day of camp will be Friday, June 8th. And it takes place at Georgia Highlands campus, south of Rome, and is a partnership.
Mostly.
Mostly. There are a few other places, and it's a partnership with the college and the 100 Black Men of Rome, Northwest Georgia.
You know, something I was thinking about, though, when I was listening to DJ and Corey speak, is that I don't think we, for instance, both of you are both college graduates. And that was the whole purpose of the program, is to create this foundation, create this exposure to college, so that college, we kind of demystify college. And I think we've done a tremendous job of giving young men, you know, a lot of different, you know, not able to give them in depth, but we give them a lot of different opportunities to participate in different activities. And I don't think the community realize how vast those different activities can be. Because every year some things may be added, some things may change. But, you know, when you think about summer camp, you usually think about some sports or something like that. But I think we've done a tremendous job of taking sports and enrichment and academic and blending them together so that we literally I don't have to do it as much now since Corey has to deal with it. But I mean, it's like every day. I remember for years I would tell kids, this is a free camp. If you're going to be a behavior problem, you don't have to come. Please don't get on the bus in the morning. I used to tell kids that. You do not have to come. It'll be okay. Don't get on the bus in the morning. The very next day, they getting off that bus. And I'm thinking to myself, what is it? And I think we do such a great job. But if you're not part of it, you don't notice that. Like STEM, academics, you know, how many kids in that age group get to actually dissect sharks and fetal pigs and things of that nature? That's something some high school kids don't even get to do. So I think we really do a great job. And I don't think sometimes, and we're very, the 100 motto is what they say is what they'll be. And we're a workhorse organization, not a show horse organization. And I don't think we do enough to talk about the things we offer in the camp. Because I think you, dollar for dollar, you'd be hard pressed to find a better camp than what we offer.
What do you mean dollar for dollar?
I'm just saying for how much it costs.
How much it costs?
To put the camp on?
Yeah.
Compared to what some other people charge for camps?
Because we charge nothing.
Well, it costs us a lot.
It does, but we charge nothing.
But for the value.
It's remarkable what we provide.
Exactly, for the value, yeah. But this is our return on the investment.
Oh, I know. But, I mean, and you mentioned the biology classes, but there are multiple science classes, other academics as well, and we get the actual college professors much of the time
to teach
those classes. And we get, speakers and guest instructors, both from campus and the community. I mean, it's not thrown together.
No.
In addition, we give 2 meals. We offer 2 meals, breakfast and lunch, and it's pretty good food. I mean, it's not on the cheap. And
well, I like to eat, and and we have to eat the same food they eat, so therefore
we need to pick something edible.
And this year, I do believe Rome City Schools is going to be working with us and providing, because we always provide transportation.
Well, I hope that's the case. I know the discussions are ongoing, but I hope that will be the case, because we're very happy to work with the city, especially.
Yeah.
So that'll be great. But putting together those activities as part of the challenge, because we want something to be fresh and different. We want to give brand new experiences. We don't want this to be like any other camp. And maybe y'all could help us out a little bit just from what you have seen either as staff or as a participant in the camp, you know, the things that you remember or the things that you think were most effective or most powerful.
As a camper, I remember the first thing was learning how to tie a tie. Like, we had a class about being a man, and somebody taught me how to tie a tie, and I'm thinking, I used to wear Nike everything. Like, so it was like, I'm not wearing a tie, you know. And then I started having to apply for colleges and schools and stuff. And I just remember my first job interview, I was like, let me throw on a tie, you know. I had to do YouTube a little bit, but at the same time, I remembered, like, hey, you should know this. Like, this is something you learn at camp, you know. And the second thing I did too was that I still remember, I went scuba diving at camp, and I'm just like, that's something that was a first experience. I still haven't done it again. It's like, that's something I want to do again. I'm just like, that's something, I'm thinking like, I'm from East Rome Project, scuba diving, you know. So it's just like, it's just a great opportunity, and it's like unique, you know. So.
And that was your doing.
I'm a scuba diver, and so what they see is what they'll be. And I just think that's one thing I love about the camp is that we're able to bring our passions and what we enjoy to the camp. And it costs, you know, we have to do the logistics to get the kids there and things of that nature, but it's worth it. Because if DJ just said, how many kids get to do that? And how many of them have that one experience, and it just creates this thought in their head, I could do this. But yeah, that was one of those things that when I said it, it made a lot of sense, but afterward, like 40 kids. But I enjoy it. I enjoy having kids. I just enjoy for us giving those some opportunities to participate in such things as that.
Yeah. I didn't get to go on that trip, by the way.
But you do poetry.
Yeah, but I didn't scuba dive.
But you can go.
It's all right. I'm not. There's no grudge. No grudge. It was just an observation.
Somebody had to stay back on camp.
Yeah, I know. Corey, what about you?
The academics is great, but the most memorable thing I remember as a counselor and as a student was the lake, the canoeing and the kayaking. From, I mean, how often do you get to canoe and kayak in Rome?
Yeah.
I mean, 9 times out of 10, people know how to play basketball, football, just common sports. But who knows how to canoe? Who knows how to make a J motion? I still remember that.
Yeah.
When I was small, and I remember flipping in the lake, and I would never forget the lake.
Yeah.
Now I just run around the lake.
But you know what's important about what you just said, Corey? And this is why I just love this camp. We live in a town that's known for 3 rivers. We're known for the water and the water. There's a ton of water activities that happen in this area. But so many of our students probably have never been in the kayak or canoe prior to the camp. And you have to ask yourself, we're known for 3 rivers. People come here to kayak and canoe. Yeah, so many of our students have never experienced that. I had never, well, in Boy Scouts I did, but most kids never have been in a kayak or a canoe, and they live in the area where that is common. And so I think that is one of the beauties of the camp, is that even though we do a lot of great things, we also rely on our natural resources that we have here. And I'm so thankful for CRBI and the people who come out to help with that. Because that is one of those experiences that, you know, we kind of take for granted that some kids may get to do that. But there's a lot of kids who've never been in the water outside of a swimming pool. And so that is. And I don't kayak canoe no more. I don't have to do it. I've done it, but I don't have to do it no more. But I remember I used to enjoy getting out there doing it. But, you know.
Well, we ought to get you out in the lake this year.
I'm fine with just watching. You know?
I agree. We should get them out.
That's why we have. No, I enjoy watching and just say, hey, man, y'all be safe and keep moving.
Well, I need to say, too, that we do give swimming lessons.
Yes.
Because we found a lot of our campers don't know how to swim.
Know how to swim.
So that's one of the things we do offer. And there, you know, we've mentioned a few, but there are actually many.
Yeah,
many.
we've been zip lining. We've done a lot of stuff, man, in the camp, if you get to think about it. A lot of STEM projects. I mean, we've done a lot in these years.
We're running out of time in this segment, but I want to thank y'all for being part of the camp and coming back to work, and we're looking forward to having you both back this year.
All right, appreciate it.
We will be back right after this with some more for you. Don't go away.
Your life is filled with opportunities to show the world you can take charge. It's waking up each day with a mission. It's working each day toward a goal. It's choosing to rise. It's charging forward with a purpose. It's changing the course of your life and taking charge of your future. If you're ready to be a Take Charger, enroll at Georgia Highlands College today.
Welcome back to Community Watch. We've been talking about Foundation Camp with DJ Rogers and Corey Pitts. It's coming up May 29th through June 8th. It is free to boys 10 to 14. It's presented through a partnership, Georgia Highlands and the 100 Black Men of Rome and Northwest Georgia. If you want to contact your school counselors, they should have applications very soon for the camp, middle school and high school. And if you want to reach out to us, you certainly can. You can email me at jhershey@highlands.edu. We'll make sure that you get an application, and I'll also be glad to answer any questions you have about the camp.
And you can get an application at the 100 website, which is 100bmor.org.
Thank you, and we'll see you next time on Community Watch.